All right, welcome to Fox's X-Men Cinematic Universe or Fox's
Well, I don't
X-Men
know.
Marvel
You can't really
Cinematic
say that
Universe
because this
or
is this is
X-Men. I don't
we
know.
should just say this is 20th Century Fox's second Marvel X-Men universe.
Well, I only said that in a way where like they this to me, right? This is on the level of almost like Infinity War because they actually have a different storyline with different actors playing in younger version of themselves. At this time, I thought it was a reboot.
It's a reboot. It was a reboot, kind of a
Was
reboot.
it?
Well, no, let's put it this way. It's not the same universe that we've just seen. It's not these are not the same characters.
These are how do
No.
you mean?
I mean, this is not the same Magneto, and the same
That we saw
they're probably
previously.
similar. Yeah, they're probably similar. They always, but this apparently these ones took a different path, probably a different story.
You don't think it's the same timeline?
I mean, you could look at it and you could think it's the same universe,
Are
but
you
it's not the same
are you talking
universe.
about at this time this movie came out? It's not the same universe?
It wasn't the, yeah, it's not the same universe.
Because for me, they made it the same universe once they have. I guess when we'll talk about next week,
Well, it
Days
wasn't
of the
really supposed to be
X-Men.
that. It's supposed to be similar, but like I mean, it had a different director. He went a different direction with it. I
Right,
mean,
but
there's some points he probably needed this to do certain things to make a better story that could stand on its own. He kind of discarded some points from the first three X-Men and the Wolverine movies.
so at this time, when did this movie come out? 2014, 2012,
2011.
2011. So when we saw this together in the theater,
Yeah, oh yeah, we went and saw this one, and it
this
was
is
awesome.
way superb. Yeah, awesome is not like giving it justice, right? Of the description of this movie. It's like
Yeah,
epic.
it's a big improvement over all that we have
It's a
seen,
huge improvement of everything we've
but it's
seen
also a director that we should have seen
in the
that
X-Men Last
didn't.
Stand.
Yeah, and he didn't make it, and he made this one instead, which wow, I was like, okay,
Which
cool.
was now, yeah. Now watching this, I do understand what you're trying to say before on the Last Stand when we talked about it, because it was supposed to be Matthew Vaughn, but
Yeah.
it's always like the schedule thing didn't work out. It's
Well,
like, oh, okay, I'll do
I
the
think it's
next
for the
one.
best. I think it's for the best in a way because in a way he would have been trying to say he would try to been doing a third movie to something that somebody else has already done. You
As
know,
opposed to this is like the first
this
movie.
is the first of this
Yeah,
new series of X-Men, so he got a fresh start. He got to really actually do it because it's easier to start your own idea than try to fix somebody else's. And I'm not saying they're fixing it, but you know, if you're a director and you want to be somebody, you're
unless you
going to
are
be you
Justin Lin
gotta
or James Cameron
you're going to be fixing.
fixing.
Well, you're not really fixing, but to some directors, I think they feel like they're fixing things that they didn't agree with
You
when
know
they
what?
watched the movie.
No, I agree with what you said, like about fixing, right? Like the it's like a new beginning, but at the same time, they don't have to kind of remake the first one,
Yeah, he's not fixing
and
nothing.
this one is
He's
an even older story, which I
yeah,
really like.
yeah. Basically, he's just taking what he's seen in the comic books, what he's seen in the movies, and then making another story that can stand on its own. That's it's just as great.
Yeah, it is, right?
He's not trying to, oh, we got to make all these X-Men exactly like we saw in the first three movies.
And
He's not tied to anything.
also interesting, like because you said that this is kind of like a reboot or remake in a reboot of the X
It
Men
is in
franchise.
a way. It's a reboot. Like several of the reboots we've seen, because you know around this time a lot of movies were doing reboots, and then they turned out to integrate into their universe.
Right.
I mean, even Star Trek was a reboot,
Yes. So
but it's also integrated into the Star
and
Trek
it's yeah
universe
because it
now
could tie it in. I could see that, but then
to a point.
yeah, to a
It's
point.
got the
But
same
this one
stories
is
like
different.
this.
It's like they could totally different set this at a different time period,
Yeah,
which is a lot greater.
to a point. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
like
if you really want to get into do aging and all kinds of stuff, then the characters are completely different ages by the time this movie comes out.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, and
And
then
this is
you
a
look at the
long
future
movie.
one.
This is another one of those long movie that didn't seem so long.
I'd say it didn't.
Yeah,
I agree with you on that.
kind of like
I mean, because I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the movie. I'd like to watch it. And they put a lot more. I think they put a lot more in it, especially a lot more camera work. Because some of the scenes were amazing. The music was really great. I mean, especially anything that showed Magneto at the
yeah.
beginning. Anything that he did
Oh,
was very
so
cinematographic.
yeah, so I do like this intro a lot, right? I remember when we first saw this in the theater, it feels like they still it's kind of like in a way they used the first movie the archive footage that they didn't get to show they put into this movie. At the same time, these are all newly shot. Does that
Yeah,
make
this
sense?
is
What I
shot,
said?
but this was made. This is made to look more like it's in the '60s,
Yes. No, no, no. I'm
and
not
it
talking
did.
about the
It
movie. I'm
looked
talking
like
about
this.
like Magneto's World War II concentration camp scene.
Okay,
Just that
yeah,
con.
well, it sounds similar if you remember all that, but
Yeah. Well, I was like,
this one sticks with you a lot better because
yeah,
I
this
mean
is
they
a
did
lot
it better. They
better.
shot it better. They shot everything
I want to
better.
kind of say like they use the same actors that look kind of like the people from like 10 years ago.
I also think because the Marvel universe exists now that they've
At
had to
this
up
time,
their
yeah,
game. Yeah, they're like now we got to find people who can actually do that.
yeah, Foxware like okay, we need to make something that kind of connects to each other. Not at this time, but Days of the Future Past.
Yeah, it needs to be Marvel quality is what I'm sure
So
they're saying.
I'm gonna throw this out there because we don't see a lot of movies with Kevin Bacon. We did one with Hollow Man. So
Yeah.
every time you see
Well, I guess you
Kevin
can't say that.
Bacon,
We can't say that really because I mean, you think about it, out of all the actors. I mean, I know what you're getting at, but Kevin Bacon's on our list. There's a whole lot of actors
oh I
that
know,
will probably never be on our list that we
it's
like.
is Kevin Bacon like default to like 80 to 90% of the time where he's like the main villain? Is it like is that his thing or is that is
I think
like
it's
a
his thing.
typecast,
Well,
right?
here's the funny thing. I saw something go, oh yeah, Matthew Vaughn used Bacon because he wanted to see him as a villain. I was like, then you need to watch the Kevin Bacon movies because you've probably only seen one.
I know, no,
Everything
I
I
think
ever
he want to
seen.
see it firsthand. Like he want to
Oh,
direct
must he?
Kevin. Like
Yeah,
it
maybe so.
probably is like
He
that.
goes, I actually want to be sitting there in the same room with Kevin Bacon when he's being evil. Because
But
I was
he is
thinking,
so good though, like
yeah,
Kevin
oh, he
Bacon.
is. I always thought Kevin Bacon was just the evil guy. Because,
Because
I
like
never saw Footloose. The
I
first
never
movie
saw
I ever
Footloose
saw,
either.
I think the first movie I ever saw was The River Wild. Is it The River Wild? Was
Oh,
Kevin
I
Bacon?
never seen that one. I seen Flatliners, but that was a
Oh,
long
I never
time
saw
ago.
Flat. But the first movie I ever saw was Kevin Bacon in it. He was a bad guy
And
there.
you saw the did you see the Christmas special with
Yes, I
Guardians of the
did.
Galaxy?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Where he just plays a fictional version of himself.
Yeah, I saw that one.
But then I know the you probably haven't seen it. Like they released Beverly Hills Cop 4, and Kevin Bacon's in that. But once you see Kevin Bacon in Beverly Hills Cop, like you know that's the bad guy. Like,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like maybe he's not in the bad guy. But then I get the chemistry of like Eddie Murphy
So,
was big in the
so what you're
80s,
saying though,
and Kevin
if we
Bacon
get,
was
if
big in the 80s, so they get to do a
yeah,
movie together. So, but yeah, go ahead.
maybe I don't know. They should just put Kevin Bacon in a movie, and he turns out he is the good guy.
That would be the ultimate
That would
twist.
make a movie where it seems like he's the bad guy until you get to the end. It turned out he's the whole guy. He was the good guy the whole time, and the main character was the
Didn't we
bad
see a
guy.
movie like that before? Like we
I'm
thought he
sure
was
we
the bad
have,
guy. Like yeah.
but probably not with Kevin Bacon.
No, not with Kevin Bacon, but like a storyline like that.
Oh,
But
I'm sure
that
we
would be
have. I'm
really
sure
good
there's probably
though.
been a lot of it, but if we had Kevin Bacon on it, it's gonna make $1 billion.
Anything with Kevin Bacon. He should play the
Yeah.
new Ra's al Ghul.
Yes, Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon can do it. Yes.
Kevin Bacon could do.
So I was thinking about this movie, right? Like Kevin Bacon speaks German and Russian, but then I'm thinking like that could have been like duped by some of the actor. He just like his
Could
lip would
have, but
sound
I'm
like
gonna go ahead and say
he did that.
let's just give it to Kevin Bacon.
Cause like I love when
Give
he says,
everything to
"Oh,
Kevin.
Wonderfuck." That was like I still remember when I saw
Wonderful.
that in the movie, like because he was eating chocolate, and then when Eric shows off his powers, because it looks like it's triggered by anger. I love that whole scene with Kevin
Well,
Bacon.
he decides it's triggered by anger
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
because
fun.
he doesn't know how to train people. He don't really care. He's a mutant the whole time. We don't even know he's a mutant.
Yeah, I didn't know he was a mutant. I thought he was just like a scientist that was
You just
interested
think
in
he's a
mutants
scientist. You don't even know his name is Sebastian Shaw yet.
until later,
Yeah,
because
you
he called
think
him
this
Klaus
guy's
Schmidt, right? The German name.
yeah, and he doesn't even age either.
Yes, so that was interesting because he could
Yeah,
control
because you got to think
kinetic
this is
energy, right?
1944, and we don't see him again until the
And it
1960s.
looks like the 60s, he was younger than he was in 44.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's moving all everything in his body's moving quicker than anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not familiar with Sebastian Shaw in the comic books.
He
So,
hasn't. Well, I mean, he's the Hellfire Club. He hasn't really shown up. I don't know if I think if I have any X-Men comics, I've probably only come across him maybe once or twice.
yeah, like I
He
haven't
doesn't
come.
pop up a lot.
No, not in the 90s that I read.
And
It
plus,
might be older.
plus this is a whole different story. In this story, Magneto wants to kill Sebastian Shaw, but in the other comic books, Magneto is a member of the Hellfire Club too, and they're both
Yes.
villains
Yeah.
together.
Yep. They're both
Sebastian
villains together.
Shaw is kind of with him. Yeah.
So you know how a lot of people say like, hey, this is not closer to comic books or at all. So this one is kind of from what you just said. It's not like that, and then we still like it. If we don't know the
Oh
story that
yeah.
well, it works
Well,
really well.
I think for me and you, we like the X-Men, but we don't know all the X-Men stories.
No,
I
no,
mean, we
not
don't.
all of them.
I mean, I don't know a lot of them. All I got was X-Men. Me and you mainly got into X-Men in the
In the
'90s.
'90s, yep.
Yeah, I mean, I had a few '80s comics, but you're missing so much in the '80s comics. So maybe I may read an issue here or there, but I didn't have the money to go back and get all of that.
See
So I
exactly.
started fresh with the '90s. So
Yeah,
like a Wolverine, I started. I don't have all Wolverine stuff. I just got maybe towards the '90s. I grabbed some Wolverines and I got a few '80s stories. But like I said, it cost too much. It was easier just to start fresh with what
from
was at
wherever
the
you are,
comic
yep.
books. Yeah, at the bookstore or the comic book store. I didn't really have comic book stores. I go to
Shoot.
the
No,
bookstore. I had to go
you're
to the
right.
bookstore and it had to show up on time to get my issues.
And
So
remember, I told you I went to Fry's Electronics and I bought the like entire collection from '63 to '90 or 2003 on a DVD when Fry's
yeah,
Electronics was out,
and
and I didn't get to read them until I was in my 20s. Then,
yeah. I mean, of course, they had X-Men Classic and stuff, but
yeah,
it's like
Uncanny X.
I'd rather spend my money on X-Men and just stay with that new story
Yeah,
than
it's just a
X
new
Factor.
storyline,
Yeah,
like
because I'm
what
trying to buy
comes out.
X-Men. Yeah, because when this was going on, I was trying to buy Wolverine, X-Men, X Factor, X Force, which I eventually dropped X Force because I'm like
Oh,
X Force sucks.
yeah.
I mean, I don't care
Well,
what anybody says. X Force sucks. Okay,
I mean, like
it
you're right.
wasn't
Like
that bad,
it's
but
tough to get all
X
these like
Factor really wasn't that
books.
good. Eventually, wasn't that good either. But
Yeah, I did like. You know what? This is the. I've seen this movie so many times. I don't know if it's just like a memory thing, but I forgot Stryker was in this. Oh,
yeah,
at
well,
least the last
Stryker's
name.
dad.
The
This is
Stryker's dad. That's what I'm
Stryker's
saying. Like
dad. No, this
the
is not
Stryker
Stryker. This is
legacy is
Stryker.
in the
Yeah,
government.
because they talk about his dad in the other movies.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is pretty cool. I mean, this is a great movie, and plus, like I said, two the best scenes are the Magneto scenes because even the music they have his music, especially when he goes to Argentina and he's sitting in there and he drinks the
Oh,
beer and he's looking at the picture and they go,
that.
"Hey," and he just starts speaking
So
German to him, and he goes, "So what's your name?" He goes, "Oh, I don't have a name because you took it from me."
yeah, you're talking about. Oh, no, they were taken from us. Oh, that
Yeah.
that scene is so
And
intense.
plus, you can see the fear on them guys. They're
Yeah,
like,
like when they were drinking
"Oh."
the beer, like oh my god, like yeah, I still
Plus,
remember in the theater, like what the heck is going to happen? This,
plus, the cinematography is excellent.
yeah, the wide shots of everything,
Yeah,
I
it's almost
loved
like
it.
it's almost like because I mean I think he used five cinematographers for this movie,
Yeah, but I
and
mean,
one
I'm
gets
not
credit.
familiar.
But
Let's see.
anyways, the thing is, each Magneto scene is like it's filmed by somebody else.
Oh,
This is the neat
interesting.
thing because even the first in the '40s, it's like it's a whole different deal, but it's in that frame because it always cuts to him. The way it cuts to him, and so as the soldiers getting their heads crushed in, then it cuts to show the wall, the torture room, just to frighten him.
Yeah,
And he crushes everything in there. And then you go to Argentina, it shows a long shot, and then every shot from the tops is just it's excellent. And then music right
I
there for
still,
him.
I still remember when we first saw this movie, right? And then
Plus,
after,
they got Michael Fassbender,
right,
so
before we get to the actor, I still remember that you told me like I didn't understand the connection of Argentina and Germans, and you were the one who told me a lot of the escaped Nazis, right? They fled to Argentina or South
yeah. And there's
America.
there's a lot of conspiracy theories. But yeah, well, they're friendly with Nazi Germany.
Yeah. Oh,
Argentina was.
but no, like even though conspiracy theory, they still work that which works really
Yeah, the
well.
conspiracy theory is Hitler
Like the same thing with
retired
the
there.
Cuban
So
Missile Crisis. It's like if they work that in, it just
yeah, they worked
really
big
convenient.
parts of history in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was really great when they did that. And this is the first movie. No, is it? Which one came out first? Glorious Bastards, Inglorious Bastards, or this?
Inglorious Bastards.
So Inglorious Bastards is the first time I saw Michael Fassbender. But this is
Yes,
the
and that's the first
first
time I
movie
saw him
that I
too.
loved this actor. And
For
then he was
sure.
David and is it David? Walter and Prometheus. Is it Walter or David? Now I got those two stupid
It's
androids mixed
David.
up. It's David, okay.
Well, he was both of them, but it was David in the first movie.
Yeah. David in the
Yeah,
first one. Yeah, Walter in the
yeah,
second one.
yeah. Walter and David in the
Yeah.
second.
I love Michael Fassbender. Like every time I see him in something, I do want to see it because of the role
Pretty
he
good.
play.
Pretty good.
And he
I mean,
speaks like several European languages.
yeah. I mean, he's German.
Yeah.
He's really German, which is funny.
No, he's
Glorious
really
Bastards
German.
plays
Yeah.
the Englishman.
Yeah, playing
They
English.
couldn't do the German act. They couldn't do the German deal right.
Yeah.
But he's also in Assassin's Creed too.
Oh, he plays the main character. Yeah. I never seen
Yeah,
that movie.
for their
Assassin's
version.
Creed, yeah.
It's.
But then you know
I'd
what? I didn't
see
play
it.
the game though.
I would see it.
Yeah.
It's worth. I mean, we should review it one day,
We should, because
just so you can see
I
it.
love video games. You love video games, but I never seen.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a lot of video games adaptation movies on this channel.
Well, because they normally suck,
They
but
do normally
why
suck.
not? Why not?
The
I mean,
best one is
yeah.
probably Mortal Kombat, and maybe one or two of the Resident Evil, since they like make 4,000 of them. So one or two is still a low percentage. But
I mean, yeah, there's probably one that's good. We just haven't seen it yet.
well, I do like them because
I
like
mean, I bet you if you just use the video, like probably the best one would probably be Gran Turismo
oh,
because it's actually based on somebody driving
and
play
real
who
life,
played the
yeah.
game. It's not based on a story that's inside the. But I think a Need for Speed was good too.
Oh, I haven't seen Need for Speed.
Yeah, I need to see it again. I think I enjoyed it.
It has
Because I mean, Need for Speed, because
Aaron
you could
Paul.
give it, because depending on how you a video game, if you don't try some video games like Need for Speed was a series. In each series, you play a
It's
driver trying to
different,
do
yeah.
something. So the movie could be a driver trying to do something.
Except for the
But
first one. The very first one, it has no
yeah, it was
story.
just yeah, no story. But
Just
eventually they
eight
put
cars.
stories. But the thing is, as long as that don't establish a main character,
Yeah.
most audiences are going to be happy because you could put a new story. Need for Speed was a constant new story.
So
Like Assassin's Creed, they should have ingredient they should have probably made it better. But anyway, let's get back to X-Men.
no, I was gonna say like back to X-Men and all that stuff, right? You know, these characters are based on a comic from X-Men, but they make their own story. But these video game movies like Resident Evil, even Assassin's Creed, and even the way you just talk
Yeah.
about Need for Speed, they even if they establish a main character, they have to tell a story of their own. They can't just tell the same story from the video game,
Yeah,
right?
but
Like
the problem is they should stick closer to what you
yeah,
saw in the
it
video
just
games.
they have to borrow some of the elements
Well,
to it.
sometimes let's just put it this way, because we're not really talking about, it, but Assassin's Creed kind of strays way too far from all the Assassin's Creed games you played. They
Oh, okay.
decide, hey, let's just do something completely else because we can think something better. And then you're playing it, you're watching, this is not better.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have no
Yeah,
idea. I
yeah,
do
you'd
want
have
to
to
play the
watch it to play
Assassin's
it.
Creed games, but time and stuff
Time, everything's time, everything's time now.
is not on my side.
Just not
And
really
I
on
want to say this
anybody's
is the
side.
first movie I saw Rose Byrne, right? Or is it Rose Byrne? What's her name?
Rose Byrne.
Rose Byrne. I mean, she was
Actually,
in
this is
Bridesmaids,
this
but
this is probably not the. Oh, well, she also was played a. She played one of the Panames in Star Wars. Star Wars.
oh, that's right. The one that looked
She's
very closely
yeah,
to Natalie
yeah. And then
Portman.
she gets
Yes.
killed.
Yeah, she was the one that got exploded on the third episode 3.
Yeah. So, but yeah, oh
Yes.
yeah. I mean, this is
Oh,
the
that
first
was a
one where she's.
young, really young
This is
Rose
the
Byrne.
first movie where she stood out. Was the main actress that I've ever seen.
Yeah, main actress. I mean, like I saw her in Bridesmaids after this movie, and that's
Yeah, I
when
think a lot of
recognized
these
her
people in this movie became famous
because they're in a superhero movie.
because really the sad thing is Jennifer Lawrence was the most famous person in this movie, other than Kevin Bacon that I knew,
Yeah. Oh,
because she did a lot of other stuff already.
that's right. Well, the guy who plays Azazel, he's famous in England though, because he's an actor from.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying none of these people are famous, but I'm talking about
And,
a lot of
yeah,
these people are eventually became more famous. All
after
these
this,
actors, all these young guys that played all these mutants became well known, most of them.
even James McAvoy. Yeah.
Yeah, James McAvoy was on the way to becoming famous because
Yeah.
we already knew who he was when he played this.
We did. What did he play before this? I can't remember.
Wanted.
I never seen Wanted.
Oh,
But I see what you mean though, because he was with Angelina Jolie.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think it was
Wanted.
Wanted. I'm pretty sure Wanted was before this. I thought he played some of the other characters, but then you had Nicholas Houdanet or whatever his name is.
Yeah, to play Nicholas Tesla.
Yeah.
Nikola Tesla.
He's played a lot of other characters though.
Yeah,
That's
he has.
fine. And he's a pretty good actor.
He's a good actor, actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
a
a
pretty
great
tall
actor.
dude too. I think.
Yeah, he's apparently. I don't see the Beast even with crazy feet like that running as fast as like he did in
You know,
the
the special effects
I did
was
have
really
problems.
good.
The
And you
special
know,
effects was good.
one actor I was really happy to see, Oliver Platt.
I know, and he doesn't get as much appeal. He just kind of pops in. I remember
Yeah.
when we was in the theater and he pops. I was like, oh, I love this guy
I did too. Like I was like, I love this guy because
because I like it. I like it especially when he goes, oh, I can take him.
what was he in before that? Like makes me love this actor so much. Like I
I
don't,
don't know. He's
understand,
because
right?
he's always in a lot of movies. He does a lot of little movies too. He just shows up and just he's always usually a pretty.
And he
good
was in
character.
Bicentennial Man.
He doesn't. He's really never a really bad guy.
Ah, he was in Flatliners. That's right.
Oh, is that why? I didn't
Indecent
see
Proposal,
why.
The Three Musketeers.
Yeah, he just kind of pops up and he goes, "Hey," and everybody's like, "I know this
Doctor
guy."
Doolittle. Yeah, I see Bicentennial Man, the guy at the end that fixes the
Yeah,
robots.
yeah, I remember he was the guy that made him human.
Yes.
He was the Green Fairy.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't the Green Fairy. It was a Blue Fairy. Sorry, the Green Fairy's a drink.
Yeah, Oliver Platt. I don't know why. Yeah, you're right. I'm so happy to see this guy for all of a sudden. This is so
I don't
weird.
know.
Oh. This, you know what? This is a big cast, and like we didn't, nobody complained about the amount of mutants in
Oh
there. It was
no, I
quite a
thought that
bit.
I think they gave a lot of everybody their due diligence. They paid a lot of even some of the lower X Men like Siren and not Siren. Is it Siren? Banshee.
Banshee.
They gave him a little bit more, even though I was disappointed he wasn't Scottish. But again, nobody had their accents
Yeah.
because Maura McTaggart's actually supposed to be Irish. Instead, they made her American.
You know, I
No,
thought.
Irish. She's Scottish. Sorry,
Oh,
she's originally
Scottish.
Scottish, and
You know, when Havoc showed up, it bothered me a little because they like.
because now he's so old next
Yes,
to Scott
thank
Summers.
you.
He is so old next to Scott Summers.
But then at the same time, it's just they're using these characters to tell a story. They can't
Well, yeah,
stick
this is
exactly
just
to the
but
source,
like I
you know?
said, this is another actual different X-Men story.
Yeah, it's a different X-Men.
And here the neat thing
story.
is, even when we were watching it, I mean, if you watch it now, you look back on it, it's like it can blend in with the first three X-Men. But eventually, we'll watch the next X-Men, and it'll explain it. This is not the same universe.
The next X-Men, you talk about Days of the Future Past.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
This is when we watch it, you'll see this is not. They already beat them. They already did the multiverse before Marvel did.
I don't agree they did the multiverse, but we'll talk about that next time. I don't want to talk about this.
You will agree. Yeah, you'll agree with me.
Yeah, I mean, like, I will listen to what you're saying. We'll see. Like, it might change my thoughts, but we'll see. But right now, it's not the time for that. I want to just talk about this.
Well, like I said, we already know from watching this movie, this is not the same universe.
You know, I think one of the things that makes me...
we do get to see Wolverine, dude.
Oh, wait, I don't want to bring that up first.
Oh.
I want to talk about, like, one of the things that made me really love this movie because they go deep into Xavier's, him teaching the students how to cope with their powers. Because we didn't get to see that in the first three movies.
Yeah.
He just a teacher.
Well, you almost didn't even see him do anything.
Yeah, that's true too.
Now
now you talked about it, and I've been thinking about it. Like, he's like more of a side character in the X-Men movies. When Professor X
almost
is the most
everybody, almost all the other characters were side people to Wolverine. The Wolverine was just here, but you got everybody.
That's why I said
you actually got
Wolverine
to see
and the X-Men.
Yeah, Wolverine and X-Men. This one you got to actually see Magneto and Charles Xavier become friends. You got to see a romance between Mystique
and
because Mystique was almost nothing. She almost didn't talk. She didn't do nothing. She in the first three movies she was just there.
She have a few lines and really that's it. Yeah,
and that's it. And this one actually made her an important character because it also showed you that Charles Xavier was a little biased too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we eventually get that in the X-Men. It took 3 movies before we realized that he was kind of wrong on some things. In this one, he was wrong because he didn't really treat Rogue. I meant not Rogue. Mystique, the way that he wanted to.
Trade
but
her.
But like in the end, he didn't see that until the end of the movie. Then he's like, "Yeah, you were like my best friend and somebody that I loved, like a sister to me." Eventually, it took that long to finally realize it. And you should go where I know you're going to be with the person I know you're going to be safer. Because see, right there, really Professor Xavier, he's struggling already to make everyone match, but then he already realized Mystique, no matter how hard she tries, the people he wants to protect will never accept her. So the only safe place for her is Magneto, who can actually see her the way she should be seen.
Yep. I did like, what's weird? I didn't even notice the first time, right? But it's the line Mutant and Proud. It's said by the other girl in the bar.
Yeah, it's just a girl that really just has. Well, she's kind of
because she kind of like shook it off like Mutant and Proud, but then even Mystique thought about it. Like, no, this is the way that I.
Yeah, but at first, because of the way she's hearing it from some person, she assumed an airheaded girl that.
Yep.
That Charles was trying to pick up in a bar, but it also has another story because Beast tries to fix her problem.
Yes.
He doesn't really accept her for who she is either.
Because he felt the same way about himself, though.
Yeah, he didn't like himself already. And then, of course, he only likes her because she's beautiful but that's her fake self.
There's a
So
fake
he
self,
just
yeah.
loves he falls in love with the Blake self, and he tries to fix it. I
With
mean,
the
he eventually,
human side.
yeah, he
Yeah.
eventually realizes he made a mistake, but it takes a while, and he does actually, and he does in the comic book too. He didn't start off blue in the comics.
No, he didn't start off blue in the comic books.
Yeah,
No.
and this one, so it turns him blue, and it turns into the Beast.
And I
Which,
can't actually wait to get to that part because right now in the 60s, Beast Hank McCoy is just like a big bulky guy. That's really
yeah, he's just this
silly.
big.
Yeah.
No, he's just a big tall nerd.
Yeah. And you know what I really like about this? They also brought in the second X-Men when Nightcrawler asked Raven like, "Well, you could turn into anybody. So why not just look like them all the time?" And now it makes it even better that I'm watching this when Raven said, "Because we shouldn't have to."
Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
makes it way better now with this one because I guess this is the origin story of why
yeah. Well, you
Mystique thinks
actually,
that way.
yeah, you actually got an origin story for a character that was almost not even cared about in the first movie.
So now let's bring up Hugh Jackman because I love that he only had like 10 seconds in this movie and none of us knew. Like me, you, and Cody were just so happy. Hi, I'm Charles Xavier and I'm trying to go F yourselves.
Yeah,
That
and
is
then
the
leave.
best cameo ever.
Yeah, did they say that he only took it because he wanted to cuss them, say some cuss
Yeah,
word? He
yeah.
goes, if I'm the only one that gets to cuss in this movie, I'll do it. And it was good because see, because if they would have gave him more time, I mean, even if they would have put him in the movie, then the executives at 20th Century
Like
Fox
the
said,
others,
okay,
yeah.
we gotta make him the best. We gotta make him everything. And
And
they're
this
like,
one is like flip flop from everything that you
yeah,
mostly you talked. Me and I agree too that you talked about like, hey, Wolverine just steals the show. This is an X-Men movie.
yeah, this is
I mean,
supposed to be the
he'll
X-Men.
steal the show in the next one too. I mean, Days of the
Yeah,
Future Past, but
yeah, he'd become a main character again. But oh well, they're already trying to sell him as a standalone movie too.
actually, the main character in the next one is more like Raven. But we'll talk about that in the next one. But I love that cameo. I'm so glad that it happened. It makes it connect, but that could be a different Wolverine too.
Yeah.
So,
But I think everybody got their fake. I mean, of course, you had your major characters, which of course Professor Xavier,
and I know a
and then
lot of
and of course Magneto. But the villains actually got a good deal too.
no villains got
They
like it's pretty good line.
Yeah, they
Pretty
weren't,
even.
and they kept popping up throughout the movie instead of just popping out at the end to get beat.
And you know what I like about the villains? They were a lot older. They were adults, opposed to the first class is like
Yeah,
kids.
yeah. You get some interesting
How many
villains.
people do you think, right? Obviously not me and you because we love this movie. Hated this movie, like, oh, this is not first class. Banshee wasn't first class. Where's Iceman? All that kind of crap.
I wonder who. I don't know that anybody did. I don't know.
I
There's
mean,
a lot of
obviously we
opposition.
don't, but
I'm sure
there's
there's
people
probably
like
somebody.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure there's somebody hiding in their basement. I'm still angry about it. Still writing letters, but I mean that was a long time ago. Let it go.
I in the basement.
I mean, we did. We don't. I don't remember. I don't remember there being a lot of opposition because I don't think the audience for X-Men was still that not as big as it.
As big as actually, I
Well,
don't even
it
know if it's
was
still
because
big.
X-Men didn't get. To me, X-Men I didn't feel like it didn't get big until the '90s. So I guess it was a.
Well, mostly from the cartoon, yeah,
Yeah, well,
yeah,
I remember more people were started reading X-Men comics in the '90s.
yeah.
That's why we got better stories.
I
I
do
felt.
like the X-Men a lot.
And then that's why we got a cartoon because more people were reading comic books.
I love the arcade game, even though that never got a home version. You have to
Yeah.
play it at the
Well,
arcade.
I loved all the NES X-Men's, even though they did suck.
Yeah,
Even with the
SNES.
suckiness,
Oh, the
I
NES
still loved
X-Men,
them.
yeah. There's
Yeah,
a
I
really
still
good
loved them.
X-Men game on the Super
I mean, it
Nintendo.
was just hard. It was just hard, but I still loved it because I was like, what else am I going to get?
I did too, because there's nothing else.
Yeah. I mean, it was a pretty good game. Even as far as NES games go, I would even with it being as hard it was, I would always pick up the X-Men.
Yeah, because
I
it's
rented it
X-Men.
until I bought it. I mean, I owned it and played it quite often. I
Oh.
get mad and go to another game, but then they go, "This
And
game
then they go
sucks." I'm
back
going back
to
to
it.
yeah, I'm going back to X. Man, I had the Wolverine NES game, and I loved as
Yeah,
much as I
my
loved
cousin had
Wolverine.
that too. Wolverine.
As much as I loved Wolverine, I actually still liked the X-Men game because also the X-Men game. Remember, you could play two players.
Yes, the X-Men. And
So me and
yeah,
my
you can
brother
play
could
two
sit
players.
there and we could switch over, and you could switch out several X-Men too.
Yep.
When you ran across something that didn't work, you switched to another X-Men.
Oh.
So I mean, out of a lot of the NES games, that X-Men, even as much as I'm gonna say, oh, it sucked,
Imagine
was
the
it
technology
was
we
more
have today.
fun.
You
Yeah,
ever play X-Men Apocalypse? Like it has like
I have
computer
not.
control players too,
No, let's
or
put it
four
this way:
players.
the last Marvel game I played is on 360.
Well, that's
Was
a long time ago.
the what is that superhero
The Lego
Marvel? No,
Marvel
I played
Super.
the Marvel logo, which was amazing too.
Yeah,
But
that's
it was
amazing too,
that one with
actually.
all you could pick, the one where you could pick all the superheroes. With Nick Fury, Doctor Doom. You fight Doctor Doom at the end of it. What was
Oh,
that?
I don't know,
Man, how could you? Because you're the one who got me on the game.
dude. I'm
I
totally
think you're the
stumped,
one who
man.
got me.
I have
Maybe
chemo
a
brain.
friend.
Yeah, we'll probably come
Oh,
over
okay.
it later.
Yeah, it's what? Oh, Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Oh, Ultimate Alliance is great. That's
That's
right.
oh, I remember playing that and thinking,
There's
man,
a
if they
there's
would
an
just turn
X
this
Men
to
version of
X-Men.
that too.
Oh, is there? Okay. See,
Yes,
I was
I think
thinking
it's
if there
called
was an
X Men
X-Men,
Apocalypse.
see, okay,
Yeah,
if
I
there was
think
an
it's
X-Men
that's the
version
name.
of it, if there
There's
was an
an X
X-Men
Men
version
version
of
of
that
it
game,
because
yeah,
you can
because
play
remember
full player on that one.
exactly,
Oh,
but
yep.
you got to pick your superheroes and then you got to
Yes,
switch from them, and it
yes.
had a good
Ultimate
story,
Alliance. Yep.
and it didn't have a dumb ending to it,
Oh, you finished the
like
game?
Batman. Yeah, oh yeah. Matter of fact, I thought it was me and you. Maybe it
You're
was
about to
somebody
say
else I played.
Batman Arkham Asylum?
Batman Arkham Solomon had a bad ending.
I was only disappointed by the main boss, but the whole game up to that point was pretty good.
Oh, the game is amazing. Up
Until
until you
yeah, you're
get to
right.
the
Until
Joker,
I do
it's
remember
just
until the end.
ridiculous,
Yeah, until
silly.
you get
I'm
to the
like,
Joker
what?
is ridiculous. But then it's so funny, right? You and I both hated that game. Or not hated it. I love Arkham Asylum
I love
until
Arkham
the
Solomon.
end, because whatever you did with the Joker, like what the hell is this? But we still finished it anyway.
Yeah, oh yeah, we finished it. But like the thing is, I would go back and play it and just be Batman and
Yeah,
never fighting the
I
Joker.
really like. Well, we're gonna go through this right now. I really like Batman Arkham Asylum the way that you fight Scarecrow, the way you fight
Oh
what's
yeah,
that
all
crocodile
the
character?
oh crocodile. What do you call him?
Is in the sewer, right? That was
Something Croc.
yeah,
Yeah,
Killer Croc.
yeah, Killer Croc.
I love the way they design the stages
Oh, you
according to
fight a
the
lot of people.
villain.
I don't know, especially Poison Ivy.
Oh, yeah,
That was a hard one, too.
yep. But let's go back to X Men. I wish X Men had a game like that. Oh, I did.
You
I say
should.
Mutant Oh, I think it's called Mutant Apocalypse. Yeah,
Because,
X Men.
they did have a Wolverine game, which wasn't that great on
Oh,
360.
yeah, it was from the X Men Wolverine
Yeah.
Origins.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is not near
I
as good
do know.
as
Yeah, it's
this
very
Ultimate
repetitive.
Alliance.
It's
Yeah,
kind of like
Ultimate Alliance.
Batman Begins.
Yeah. It just wasn't there, yeah, because all the other Batman games, like Arkham Asylum, if you could play a character like that, it was good. But I really enjoyed Ultimate Alliance. I was just
Yeah.
like, man, what if you could play an X-Men game like this?
There is an X Men game like that. You miss it.
Well, yeah,
It's the
I need to
same
go.
way.
I'm
Yep.
gonna have to go play it.
Because I played that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because other than that, you'd have to go play, the X-Men game, you'd have to go to the arcade to play that.
Yeah. The arcade X Men game is one of
Yeah.
my
Which
favorites. Too bad I don't. If I
I
have the
only got
room, I would have this, the
oh really?
Turtles one, and the X Men one. Well, probably Simpsons too, but like those,
Yeah.
because
The
it's one of
X-Men
the
one was
first time I've
cool.
seen a full player co op game.
I think I got to play the arcade a couple times because they had it at the
Oh,
arcade
the
for a
first time I
while.
played it was 6 players because you could use all six of the X Men. Oh,
Yeah,
well, six of
I'm
those X Men.
pretty sure I never saw the sixth one. I think it was just the four.
Is a dual monitor because me and my cousin go to that stupid comic book store in New York that's no longer there, and then we spent a lot of quarters. Well, I didn't spend a lot of quarters because his grandmother go to Atlantic City all the time, and she had these
Yeah.
big winnings, right? And then I still remember the day we bought a whole bag of quarters, just me, and I'm like probably 10, and my cousin's like probably 8,
Yeah,
holding
it's
a whole
funny.
bag of quarters to go to
It's
the
funny
comic
if you
book
think
store.
about it. You got old people, they'll put quarters in a machine to
Yeah,
win a game where you win quarters. While
yeah,
young people, we put quarters in a machine to
to
win a
get a
game where you don't get nothing.
yeah. They
Oh,
they
recognition. Recognition. Oh, yeah, I'll
they
beat that
totally
game.
update those now. Like I haven't put one of those quarters in a slot, not even in a payphone, in a long time.
Yeah,
That's the
just,
ultimate nostalgia right there. Like this arcade, I put a fake quarter door right there. I'm pointing at it right now.
just,
It
just to put quarters in.
it I could make it work. I just have to have a tray. You could put a coin in it, but it would just
Yeah.
fall to the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's just so cool just to have that feature because like remember games when you use when the prices went up like wow now it costs 50 cents to play like
Oh, it
Mortal
was
Kombat.
ridiculous when you had to put four quarters in it. I was
Oh, a
like,
dollar
what?
for a game,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think they finally quit that. It's like
Yeah,
getting
because it's
fined.
easier to charge you on a card because it costs more.
Yeah.
The money goes down like that. Oh.
Yeah. Because if you run out of change, you're done.
And Stanley wasn't in this movie.
No. But he wasn't in another X-Men movie, so
Yeah, actually, he's not. He's only in the first one. He wasn't even the second X Men
yeah, it wasn't second. I
or
think
the
he made it the
third.
third one.
He made it to the third one. Oh yeah, cause Jean Grey scene.
Yeah.
So Fox is not very like consistent. No, that's the right word. Fox is not consistent at all, as we can
Fox
see
isn't
from X-Men
consistent.
First Class, X-Men Last Stand, and the first two X-Men. Even though the first two X-Men are still done by Bryan Singer, it looks like the second one was done better than the first one. But then it's the budget issue because this is Fox. I mean, who am I kidding?
Yeah.
That's why I'm so surprised. Like, what was the budget they gave them to do this one?
But it is. It also has a lot to do with.
Oh, it's not that much.
Oh,
But
well,
at the
then I
same
guess
time, they have a lot of known names though.
they
like
did
you
a lot
said,
more. Yeah, but they were. Yeah, but you got to say they weren't all known yet.
No.
They're people up and coming. They picked him right. Matthew Vaughn and whoever the casting director, they picked a lot of good.
You know what's really funny? I'm pretty sure that the only person in this movie that didn't have to audition for this movie was probably just Kevin Bacon. It's like, okay, we need Kevin Bacon, and then that's it. Even probably Jennifer Lawrence have to audition. January Jones, like who's this person? January Jones is a very beautiful woman. The first time I seen her in this movie, I had never seen anybody besides like Charlize Theron.
Oh yeah,
it's a very beautiful woman. Yeah. And I'm not.
So you never seen her before? You've seen her before.
January Jones.
Yeah, she was in American Pie.
She was
not the first one. What was the American Wedding?
Oh, was she the sister?
She was the sister
for Allison Hannigan. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
I do remember now.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Wow. Man. But that was younger though. Like there's also like
yeah, she was younger.
No, I think it's just the way she's dressed. And I'm not even talking about the lingerie stuff. Like even the clothes the outfit that she had, like the 60s style thing.
Yeah.
It was really good. Now, like immediately when you see her, right? Like that's the White Queen. Like immediately you know that's the White Queen. Yeah. Like they don't even have to tell me name or nothing.
And she's not the sister in Wolverine Origins.
Okay, so I thought about that, right? So me and my boys
she does have
the diamond skin thing. That's the only connection. They never said her. No, they said her name was Emma.
Yeah, they just say Emma.
But then that was it. The Emma is a very common name, you know. But then the diamond skin connection is—it's
not very common.
Kind of close. Yeah, it's too close.
But like I said, if it's a different universe, what does it matter then?
Yeah. So let me. I want to ask you something. You probably explain this to me. I'm not a scientist or anything. The part where they had her with the metal bed frame when is it possible to break that diamond with that metal?
Magneto probably could break it down
because he's just closing in on the metal.
Because she's not a cut. Because I mean, diamonds don't come.
It's just diamond skin.
You got to cut diamonds. Yeah, you got to cut diamonds.
Huh.
I mean, to make a diamond worth of money. I mean, I guess diamonds are probably worth money, but to make it even worth more, you got to cut it. So obvious stuff. They're strong, but they're not that strong. Now, could you bust a diamond? I'm thinking you could shatter a diamond. Could you shatter it with pipe? A cheap. Well, maybe Russian steel,
like a
red.
Pipe?
You probably could. Well, no, I don't know.
This is the '60s, though. This is before they have metal regulation.
Yeah, this is not. This is not. Yeah, and this is overseas, so this metal. There's no telling what this is. But I'm thinking just because her neck, and she's probably not real diamond. She's just
the skin is diamond.
Yeah, she probably don't even turn into real diamonds. She probably turns into an illusion or a form of diamonds. Because maybe it's just a shield to keep people from getting in her. So she's not real. I don't feel like she's turning into diamond. Plus, you always got these diamond studded bits and stuff. They eventually wear out.
They eventually wear out and break.
Yeah, so
I broke a titanium drill bit.
I'm thinking around her neck. Because I mean, usually things that, let's say, we put it this way, like human flesh or like things are softer, they'll usually bend or they flex in or something. They can have more give to them, like lumber. You can bend with board.
Yeah.
You could bend it before it breaks a lot more. But still, the hardest steel, the harder that material is, eventually it don't bend. It just breaks.
Oh, okay.
So like diamonds, there's not going to be any give. It's going to break. And probably around the neck.
Okay.
Like it's going to snap.
That was one of the things I was going to ask you,
But eventually she busts heel.
Yeah.
Because she goes back to her diamond form later on.
It's really funny. I wrote a note here. Remember in the beginning scene when Shaw was trying to get Eric to activate his power? And then they did not the torture scene, but like the threat, he kills his mother, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, Why didn't Eric just kill him in the beginning? Then the
Exactly.
movie would have been over.
I thought the whole thing too. I was sitting there. It's like, huh? It's funny. He kills and destroys everything, but the guy
He kills
who
the
killed his
soldiers,
mom.
but they didn't kill his mom. It's Shaw that killed his mom.
Yeah, I
But I
know.
think
That's
it's the
what I said.
connection that he made with him at the scene though. Like they were
But
talking.
he probably still didn't know how to kill Shaw yet.
Yeah, kill the
Because I
other
mean, he's probably still
soldiers.
well, the soldiers had metal helmets on, so he basically just crushed everything in there, and they just happened to be wearing a helmet.
Yeah, they were just
So
having a helmet.
he probably didn't truly seek out to kill
How'd you
him.
kill him? Yeah.
He probably wanted to kill Shaw, but
So
instead he just didn't know yet. Because of course Shaw's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have good times now.
so
It's like,
now bring me to the second point. In the end, well, at the last battle when he picked up the submarine, right? He picked it up. He picked it up for a long time, moving it to the shore, right? Why didn't he just collapse the whole thing and then the movie would be over? You know what I'm saying? He already picked it up by
because we need to
crushing
watch
it.
a movie.
But no, so you agree that he could have done that, right? Collapse the whole submarine.
Oh, he could have crushed everything, but maybe that wasn't his go yet.
Yeah, cause like, yeah, I guess because when
And
the scene where he rips the submarine open to crush that tornado guy, that he
yeah,
could have just done that and dropped the submarine back, and
yeah,
everybody would have died,
he could.
except for
But
Zazo.
the problem is there's a lot of things in your real life that you think, oh, I should have done this.
Yeah,
I could have done this the whole
that's
time,
true
and I
too.
just now do this. I mean, come on, you're fighting a battle, you're learning your powers. You don't know all your stuff.
And you know what's really funny? Is that helmet made of metal? I always wonder about that.
The helmet's made out of metal.
So why didn't you just crush that helmet?
Well, maybe that helmet's not made. Well,
Yeah,
that
I
helmet
don't
must
know.
not be made out of metal.
Yeah, because it's something else.
Or you know what? Maybe he didn't. He wanted that helmet.
With that too.
He does want that helmet.
The other thing I thought about, like the helmet is not enclosed in any way. There's still like an opening here. So why
Yeah.
couldn't Xavier get to where the metal is not?
Hey, hey, because this is the way this
Because
X-Men universe
oh,
works.
am I
Hey,
destroying it
how
for
would
you?
you know? How would you actually know? You don't know how to
I
tell
don't.
So
But
I'm
like
sure
to me, right, the
well,
safest
we know
thing
that's how it works. But let's
would
put it
be
the way the
like
helmet works.
you have to cover the whole neck
Yep.
and everything and the whole face.
No, you don't.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm just making stuff
I'm just
up.
saying, but you can't. I
He's
mean,
like
we're
arguing
just
about
making.
time travel.
Yeah, well, it's you're arguing about a point in the comic book that somebody's already established that helmet works.
Yeah, that's it. Just the helmet works.
Because I mean, well, think about it. Juggernaut's helmet works. It doesn't cover his whole face.
No, but it does cover the bottom part, like the
Yeah,
neck. But the Magneto's is all open.
just in the front.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
But I mean, I
Magneto's
think it
is open
covers.
in the
It
front.
probably covers. It probably. You're probably the thing is though, mind waves must not travel through your face.
Let me tell you right now, I would like that helmet to try it on. I don't want the purple one. I want this blue one.
I want the silver one
The
too.
silver, is it silver blue? Whatever
It's
color it
silverish
is, right?
blue. It was more of a silver metal.
Yeah. I would love that helmet.
But
that
here's the
Sebastian
funny thing.
Shaw
Yeah,
wears.
like I said, I liked all the Magneto scenes except for the last one where he goes to go get Emma Frost. He comes in the red suit. It is the 60s.
Oh, the
So I'm letting
purple,
it
yeah,
go.
yeah.
I was like,
With
okay,
that
you don't look.
with that bug
Yeah,
symbol on it.
yeah, you don't look very menacing anymore. Shaw looked very menacing wearing it.
Yeah, because he was wearing that nice suit, right? With that like
Yeah.
that helmet.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they would have gave him the Magneto suit that we see in the comic books, I'm thinking he probably would have been awesome.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
they're making
you're
the
right.
suit look
No,
more,
yeah, yeah.
they're making his suit look more like he did Magneto wore in the first three X-Men.
Yes. So we finally get to a time period, right? 2011, where the uniform looks awesome. Uniform looks very comic bookish.
Yeah, these comic book uniforms look better than the comic book for the original X-Men
Yeah.
comic book.
Just kind of like I guess well, maybe not. Well, maybe Spider-Man, but like the Iron Man and the Captain America uniforms. This X-Men movie is the first one.
Yeah.
Now I have another thing to ask you. I've been reading this online for a few years now, right? And it's to me, it's kind of racist. Darwin is a mutant that adapts to survive.
Yeah,
They
so
killed
he
him
gets
easily.
killed. He killed him real easily.
They killed him
And
easily.
and he was the only black X-Men. That
He's
he
the
dies
only
the
black
first.
X-Men that dies. Now that is kind of racist to me. They only kill the X-Men that is not white.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I see how it
You
looks.
see what I
you
mean,
gotta
right?
think. But I don't think it's racist, you know. And I'm gonna say
Oh,
it
no,
looks
no, no.
racist,
Like,
and it's gonna be racist. But I don't think it's racist because if racism was thought in, he would be the only X-Men that didn't die. No, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
That makes sense, right?
Yes, I do.
Because people would go, well, we got to protect this guy because if we kill him, then everybody's going to say we're racist.
Yeah,
You
I do.
know,
You can't win. I get your point. Yeah.
you can't win. Yeah, you're right. You can't win. But the problem is, yeah, I got that, and I thought that too. I was like, why is the only colored X-Men
He's
get
a
killed
color.
during the movie?
I would say
But the
for the
thing,
only
but
black
I like,
guy.
but that means that just means being Hollywood stuff. They're sitting there thinking, oh, we didn't think of that before we put the movie out.
No, I probably didn't think. Yeah. No, I'm
Yeah, they
pretty
didn't
sure they
think
didn't
that
think
through.
they killed him just because he was black. Yeah.
Because if they would have thought about that,
I think
then
that
they
what
wouldn't
they
have killed
did
him.
here is what they want to show you how powerful Shaw is to
Yeah,
kill a person that can evolve
yeah,
into
because
surviving.
this guy was not supposed to be able to get killed at all.
Yeah, it's because
Because
to
he was
show
even
how
going to go
powerful
out there,
Shaw is.
yeah. And then instead, Shaw's, oh, it's not just powerful, it's smart.
Yeah, evolve
Because
into
then he puts
this.
that, because he made that guy eat that stuff, and
Yeah,
it just killed him on the inside.
I do like his powers though, like Shaw's
But
power.
again, Shaw got what he deserved because remember, Magneto just puts a quarter through his head. Well,
Because you
Nazi
brought up the
coin.
cinematography, I love that scene when
Yeah,
they
it
do
just
the
pushes it.
side-scrolling
Yeah,
thing through
just push it right through his head.
Xavier and
Plus they got the Magneto
Shaw.
song going.
Oh, that whole speech was great. I loved that Magneto. This is probably my favorite Magneto scene. Like, I agree with everything you said, but you killed my
Yeah,
mother.
yeah. I know. I thought that was something else
Whoa.
because Magneto's just going the whole movie. I was just looking to get even. That's it.
He is because he thought at this moment he said it sounds really rehearsed, right? Now I'm going to count you three. That was really
Yeah,
sinister, man. He put that. Oh, that
yeah.
was.
Well, that's the sad thing, especially on Shaw's part. Shaw's thinking, I could have done everything if I would have just stayed good to this one kid.
Yeah. And you know what's really funny? I know. Why didn't Xavier just let Shaw go at that moment? He could have saved it himself instead of depending on Eric.
What do you mean?
So, uh, Professor X, the one that froze Sebastian Shaw, right at the
Oh
end
yeah,
at that moment, why didn't he just let him go?
yeah, because he probably didn't know exactly what Magneto would have done.
Come on. The coin is going to, like, what do you think? Just gonna, oh,
Yeah,
he's
I
going to
don't
give
know.
it, he keep giving him benefit of the doubt. That's what you're saying. That he's not going to go through with this.
That's not what I was saying, but
Oh,
I'll say that he is now.
oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
know. You
thought,
got a
like,
good
why don't you just
point.
let him go?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But
But
then, I,
maybe part of Xavier is like, I don't want this guy around either.
oh, oh,
Come
oh,
on,
oh.
come on,
That sounds
Xavier's
like
human too.
Batman Begins when he's like, I don't have to save you. I mean, I don't have to
Yeah,
kill you, but I don't have to
yeah,
save you. So I'm like,
yeah. I don't have to
as
save
long
you.
as my hands are not dirty, I'm cool with it.
Well, the problem is though, and he might also thinking though that if he lets Shaw go, then Shaw could beat Eric, and then they'd have a whole nother problem
Yeah, that's true too. Like,
because he probably couldn't have got a hold of Shaw
cause
again.
I was thinking like, if they didn't kill him, right? How do they kill this guy? How do they kill
Yeah,
Sebastian Shaw?
they couldn't kill him if Xavier wouldn't have controlled him and then
That coin goes
held a
through.
hold of.
Yeah,
Yeah, that because he would have just absorbed that power and then used it against. He probably would have killed them all.
yeah, they probably kill them all.
So Xavier's like, I would rather you do trying to get Eric to do something that would just want him to control him, but he didn't want him to kill him.
Yeah,
Maybe he did. That does make sense. He probably thought the benefit of the doubt that maybe he will stop and then until it. But after the coin goes to his head, Xavier couldn't let go
yeah.
because he's too busy and agonizing, feeling all the pain. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna ride this through, dude.
Dude,
That's gonna be one crazy headache.
that
And of course,
scene is
X Haver,
so
yeah, of
good.
course, X Haver suffers because remember then, oh, Mom Taggart tries to shoot him and then she shoots him in the
Oh, before we
spine.
get to that scene, right? Let's talk about Michael Ironside. Do you know who
Okay.
Michael Ironside was? You do, right? Come on, because you've seen action movies in the 80s.
I don't know who
Michael
Michael
Ironside
Irons
was in this movie.
was. He the cat? Oh yeah, he was the captain.
Yes!
Why did I not? Well, I kept thinking he looked
Dude, I
familiar.
knew that the first time we saw that movie.
Yeah,
Like,
you
that's
did say
Michael
that because you're.
Ironside.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot that was him, and I
Yeah.
kept looking at the captain. I knew he was.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
just,
don't know
it's not
why.
a
It just
big character, but it's still an important one.
it was an important one. Plus, I like it though. You know, the guy. What was his name?
Which
We
one?
know him at the beginning. The colonel. What's the actor's name? We see him. He is always he's always an officer, military officer in almost
Oh,
every
the
movie you
glasses
watch.
guy?
No,
Oh.
he doesn't have glasses.
Oh,
He's
not the CIA. You talking about... Oh,
the CIA is always a CIA guy too.
Harvey
But oh,
Keitel. No, not Harvey
no,
Keitel. He
it's not
looks like
Harvey
Harvey
Keitel.
Keitel. I know who you're talking about.
The guy with red hair.
Was it red hair?
He's got red hair.
Oh,
I should know his name because I've seen him 100,000 times. I used to know his name because he was in Transformers. He played, matter of fact, he's the general that gets killed in Transformers, and he's in another Transformer movie as a general again. He's the colonel that puts the missiles in,
oh, the yeah,
and he has the hand grenade.
yeah.
This guy's in a lots of movies. He always is a military
Oh, I
guy.
know who you're talking about. Like, yeah, I don't know.
I
I
know. I
don't know
forgot
the
what his name
actors.
is
I
because I
can't
know he's from
remember.
Texas. He's actually an actor from Texas.
And then they always have the same Russian guy.
Yeah, the Russian guy's always the same.
Yeah, Russian guy's always
Almost
the
always
same.
the same. Let's see. I tell you what his name is because I know what he is. Yeah,
What?
Glenn Morshire.
Glenn Morshire.
He played. Yeah, he always because like I said, he's in Transformers. I was like, he's a general Transformers, and then
I can't
he's in
remember his
Transformers again,
Transformers.
and he's still alive. And I'm like, well, Sonny, they just all look alike. I mean, he's always
Yeah,
like a
pretty much.
colonel or a general in almost every movie. If they
Because
go,
they
hey, we need a general,
plays it
this guy's
so
going to be
well, you
it.
know? General
Oh yeah,
McTaggart.
because
McTaggart, that was his name in the movie. General, or whatever McTaggart.
Colonel McTaggart was it Colonel McTaggart?
Yeah, I can't
Well, he
remember
gets killed.
Colonel
He
yet.
gets killed, which also makes me wonder. He gets killed. He's a colonel and gets killed. He was like the way up there, and they're like, don't they go? Oh, what happened to him?
Yeah, what happened to when, like, what
They're
happened to
like,
the Colonel?
it's
I
like
don't know.
they didn't care. What they're like, whatever. He got killed. He just disappeared. He just
He's
ran
on
away.
vacation, okay? It's
Yeah,
classified.
it had to be highly classified because like he's one of the guys that voted to put missiles in Turkey.
Yeah. Wow. Man. You know, there's so many. I know we're missing a lot of scenes, and before we get to the end of the movie, what else?
They do one thing I thought was cool.
What?
Was it? Is his name Azazel?
Azazel
You know, he does what I always thought that somebody with his powers could do. Just
dropping people.
grabs a yeah, he just grabs a hold of people and drops them.
Yeah.
Grabs a hold of them, drops them. He killed everybody.
So, but that's what makes the thing is like he can't fly. Oh, he just teleport up there and then
Yeah, he
gets
just
out. Yeah.
teleports and then he just teleports away again. Because you remember he almost gets killed because he can't. The way he teleports up in the air and they didn't let him get back and just teleport.
Yeah, and he just kills a lot of people.
Which Azazel's supposed to have been like from like one of the oldest mutants ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like from the, like what do you call it, Mesopotamia, I think.
What?
Yeah, he's supposed to be like way back there. He would have saw like, like
Azazel.
the ark, almost the ark being built.
Wow. I do like Lenny Kravitz's daughter in this movie.
Yeah, Zoe.
Yeah. But then
Yeah,
I
she
like Lenny
gives me.
Kravitz though, so
Yeah, a lot of people like Lenny Kravitz.
I like Lenny Kravitz.
I like Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah, see, who doesn't like Lenny Kravitz?
Communist.
It's like,
I mean, yeah, dude.
I mean,
I'm,
I don't know, but I'll just have to believe you.
yeah, we'll just go with it.
Communist. That's our go-to now. Who doesn't like chocolate cream pie? Communist.
That's actually all. That is actually my go-to everywhere I go. At work, somebody goes, "Who doesn't like this?" I always go, "Communist." They'll look at me for a little bit, then people just agree with me.
If I remind me of, it reminds me
Yeah,
of
it's
that
like who
dumb
doesn't like
joke.
kittens? I'm like communist.
Have you seen Austin Power, right?
Oh yeah.
Remember
Oh
the scene where they go back to like they have a flashback of college with Dr. Evil and number two. Hi, oh, I'm number one. I'm number one. I'm number two. Like, and then they're just chanting, and then someone throws a cupcake on their head. Come on, who throws a cupcake? Who just like communist? Who throws a
communist.
cupcake? Communist.
Communist.
I don't know why I'm laughing at this just so long. It just out of nowhere it hits me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only other people is like, who doesn't like fun? It could be either nuns or communists. I don't know.
That's like fun. It rhymes with none. Oh. Oh, and I'm just thinking about all the screen time. I guess Azazel get a pretty good amount of screen time because they show a lot
He
of his
actually
skills.
did. He
Is-
actually did.
At least
He
his
didn't.
screen time is better than Sabretooth from the first X-Men.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they didn't really ruining the villains here. I mean,
No.
even the
The
tornado
only
guy.
the tornado guy, he didn't speak at all, and
Yeah,
I
he didn't
don't
have
know
very many
what
lines.
his name is. The tornado.
I don't
guy.
know. I don't know who he is either. So
Alex Gonzalez is the Riptide.
yeah, I'm sure he's in the comics. A lot of these guys, like I said, I've never seen them exit comics, so I don't know who they are,
Yeah.
or they didn't have big parts in the X-Men comic books. But
Yes,
they built
yes.
a good villains, and the villains did more. They didn't fight in the Statue of Liberty, so that was good.
The fight scenes were really good.
The fight gets, I mean, everything was good in this movie. They upgraded everything.
But then we went to
And
like
plus, we actually, the powers for,
2010s.
like I said, the powers for Banshee were pretty good.
Oh,
I mean,
so
because
they did
normally he's a
Banshee
character,
really well for his
it's like,
power.
yeah, it's a character I would have thought, well, they're not going to do anything with it.
Yeah,
But
it's
they
really
did.
tough. I know. I thought the same thing when they
And of
brought
course,
Banshee in.
Havoc, they let Havoc have a lot of
Havoc was
power.
really good. Yep.
Everybody got a fair,
A
I
really
think,
good amount of time. They showed how
enough
Xavier
power, and
helped
they
them
actually
train
used
and
their power.
everything.
Yeah, they used their powers and everything. They didn't,
Angel.
they didn't get sidelined or
The
not
only
use
person that got
anybody.
sidelined was Darwin. He only gets to show a little
Yeah,
bit.
Darwin, but he got to show his powers until he died. It was real quick. He got the
But
party
his was a building
at
point for
least,
Shaw's character,
at
which we
least he
agree.
got. Yeah, basically to me, he was only there to be killed
To be killed, yeah, to show Shaw.
because he's the guy because he's supposed to have been the strongest guy. He's like I'm unkillable.
Yeah. To even show you Shaw. Like, even the
Yeah,
part where Shaw goes in and they keep shooting at him and just absorbing all of that. Then he
yeah,
just breaks that thing. It reminds me of T'Challa's or Black Panther's suit.
yeah,
Absorbing the kinetic energy and then
yeah,
exploding it.
yeah. Put it back to you.
Oh. It's kind of
So
like, which
basic,
mutant power
so
would you have?
basically, he was almost Captain America's shield.
Yeah. Of all these X-Men's powers, what would you like to have? Like all the ones that we've seen. Not the
Maybe have to
ones that
be
had to be
in
what?
this movie.
In all of the X-Men's that we've seen.
Man, that's a hard one.
You can't pick Wolverine. I mean,
Oh,
I would pick
can't.
Wolverine because I would like to heal because hurting. Well, you can still feel pain, but hurting still sucks.
I'll just go with Professor X here.
Oh, because you can read minds and you
Yeah,
can
man,
control people.
you could control people. You could do anything you wanted, and you look normal.
I would like to be Jean Grey.
Man, think of all the girlfriends I would have.
I think if you have power like Professor X, they won't be girlfriends. They will all be side chicks.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, well,
That's what I would assume.
Hey,
Or,
I can call them what I want to.
or everything on one night stands.
Well, actually, they can't be a side chick.
Or one night
Yeah,
stands. That's what they are.
yeah, there's some side chicks.
I would like
Girlfriends.
Jean Grey. Because you basically have the
Why?
same
She's
thing
the
like
same.
Xavier,
Yeah,
but better, but more powerful.
I don't know. She has a really tragic life.
Oh, I guess I will say Jean Grey in the form where I could control Phoenix. A control
Well,
Phoenix.
you can't be
Jean Grey.
Phoenix. Yeah, you can't be Phoenix.
Yeah, but
So you
Magneto
don't
would be
want,
pretty
yeah,
cool.
because to me, actually, Jean Grey and Professor X are almost the same character.
Yeah,
Well, they're not the same character. They're not the same character. They have the same powers.
that's the
Though.
same powers.
They're almost the same way. Maybe Jean Grey's just more powerful than Xavier, but she doesn't know how to use it yet.
My son actually asked me how come Magneto can fly. I'm like, well, all he had to do is put metal bracelets on. He's just controlling his bracelets. He's not really
Yeah,
flying.
he's just gravitating because he,
Yeah.
he just. Well, actually, I think in the other deal, it's not he does something else, but the metal bracelets make more sense.
Yeah.
Lifting himself, but I think he uses the metal inside of he propels himself from the metal that's inside of the Earth's core.
Wow.
You didn't know that? Yeah, that's actually I think it was supposed to do. He's supposed to use the Earth's core because there's nothing but metals in the Earth's ground, and he just floats himself above it.
Whoa. Oh, I was gonna say he controlled the irons in his body, and that's how he can fly.
Yeah,
That's
well,
the other
because he's got to remember he lives on a big old asteroid in space, the
Yeah.
X-Men, and he controls the asteroids because they have metal in them.
Yeah.
So and he gravitates on it and flies around it and moves it.
I mean, not that Sebastian Shaw's power is not awesome. That's awesome too. Kinetic
He
energy.
is, and he lives forever.
You could technically beat up everyone.
Yeah, well, because anybody that hits you, you're going
You're
to hit
absorbing,
it
yeah.
back with the same power. 5 people beat you, man. That one person that gets it is going to get all 5
He's
hits right in
gonna
one day.
die.
And plus, your metabolism's probably better stuff. But like I said, Professor X Haver, it seems like your life would be a lot easier because if you already knew what people wanted, expected from you, like I say, I see
That's
somebody and go,
scary.
"Beer is so good, ain't it?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, I already know this one. That's going to happen if you walk up to anybody just about." Let's
You
say
could win the
alcoholics.
lottery easily. You
But
could win the
yeah,
lottery every time.
well, you can't really win the lottery because you can't unless you manipulate the stuff.
You could move the stuff.
Yeah, you'd have to move the stuff, but I mean that's kind of wrong. But like I say, if you knew
Everything
everything,
is wrong.
but if you already knew what people were thinking, then you're already going to be ahead in the game.
Oh. Oh. Man. Yeah, Professor X.
Yeah.
I never even talked about it.
X.
Can you imagine if Professor X was a bad guy? Yeah, there is. It's called Cassandra Nova.
Yeah, because like Scott Gray. I mean, no, No, not Scott Gray.
Scott.
Uh,
Oh, Jean Grey.
Not
Scott
not Jean Grey. Jean Grey, but I mean, yeah, Scott Summers.
Summers.
Should have said Scott Summers. Yeah, I mean, you got the laser glass, but that's it. You can't. You got to wear the glasses. The glasses come off. You got a problem.
Yeah, you can't open your eyes
Wolverine. I would really wouldn't put Wolverine in a way. It looks cool, but man, look at all the trouble he's got.
because he could live forever. It's just like Shaw.
Well, that's all
You
he
don't
does, though.
want
All
to
he can
live
heal, and he's
forever.
just an angry person. I mean, I guess I would love the healing factor if you didn't have all his problems.
Healing
And I
factor
guess
would be great.
he is, if you think about it, Wolverine is the cause of most of his problems, anyways.
Yeah.
But Beast, everybody be looking at you. Angel, you're gonna have feathers all over the place. Iceman actually would be good,
Iceman would be good.
but still, I mean, just for the ease of life and to go low key and get a lot of stuff that you want, Professor Xavier, I think, would be the best.
Professor Xavier would be the easiest
Because
to
his
be
life,
incognito.
because look at him, out of his life, he's got the best life of all the X-Men.
So Professor X can levitate
Sure, wouldn't want
stuff,
to be
right?
rogue.
He could move stuff with his mind. Is it? Or just reading people's mind?
Yeah, he could read people. He should be able. I don't know if he can move stuff or not.
No, he can't. It's Jean Grey. Jean Grey can move stuff.
Yeah, Jean Grey could probably move stuff.
That's why,
I
like,
don't know.
if he could
I'm trying to
levitate,
remember if there's any comic books where Professor X could do anything. I think he could only read minds.
he can only read minds.
And I think Jean Grey, for the longest time, could only read minds too.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, she
I don't
could
know. I
move
haven't really read the
objects.
early comic books, but I know she could do a lot more.
Telekinesis.
I know she is the most powerful X-Men. I think they made other X-Men later on, but also all her kids are like evil.
Yeah.
Cable's one of her kids.
Cable's one of her kids. And he has telekinesis too.
And then, of course, you have the Phoenix from Excalibur is one of her kids from the future.
Yeah.
The X-Men, I think, was one of her kids.
Oh.
They had a lot of kids. I don't know if she has any kids with Wolverine in the future, in the alternate realities or not.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
I'm trying to think that they did, but I don't know. I mean, if Wolverine had any, because Wolverine did have kids, I don't know who they were from. In alternate timelines and stuff. I mean, though, so far the only time, because we only see so far all the X-Men comics I read is always her and Scott Summers.
Scott Summers, yeah.
And they always had like weird future nannies popping up and stuff. And then of course they lived in that big giant skyscraper that was actually an alien, and it flew up in the air and blew up.
All right, let's talk about the ending now, because you talk about it's McTaggart is the woman. Shoot, what the heck? Oh, McTaggart is the woman, not the Colonel.
Yeah, Dr. McTaggart.
Yeah, is she a doctor? She's not a doctor, is she?
Well, not in this.
She's just a CIA agent.
But she's supposed to be, because even in the X-Men, the third X-Men movie, she is.
In the third X-Men movie.
Yeah, the third X-Men movie. Because remember, they go, Dr. McTaggart, we'll talk to Dr. McTaggart. He's in that class. And they have that guy that's in the deal. That's her.
Oh.
And in the comic books, she's a researcher. She's just not a mutant. She has researchers, and she lives on an island. She tries to fix diseases and problems with mutants. And she's also sometimes a teacher at the school.
Oh.
And this one, she just works for the CIA.
Yeah, this one's, well, this is a different time too. So this could be her grandmother or great aunt or something. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. It could be. But...
Why was she wearing dog tags? She wasn't fighting in a war. Remember, she had dog tags on. McTaggart had dog tags on.
She was military. CIA military. Maybe she was a special military person. I don't know. Even though women really weren't in the military yet. But women did wear dog tags if they were nurses and stuff.
Oh,
in
really?
War zones, they wore dog tags. Yeah.
Just in case
They all did, because the Vietnam War had been going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Vietnam War is going on during this time. So, of course, everybody's got dog tags. I forgot she had dog tags because she almost got strangled.
You know what? That's another scene I thought about, because people use it as a meme now, where Magneto talks to Rogue. I mean, not Rogue. I did the same thing you did. Raven. When the real Mystique. No, I prefer the real Mystique. Perfection. And people use that as a meme now. No, the real Obi-Wan Kenobi. No, the real Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then they show that guy from the 70s. Perfection.
Does people really say that?
No, because, they use that as a meme when they think something is perfection. That was a really good scene too.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
Man, just the writing of this, the relationship between all these characters is awesome.
Because they actually decided to make
a decent movie.
No, I can say they decided to make a good movie. They decided to actually make these characters.
Instead of just
You know,
having them show up on
yeah,
screen.
just show up screen. I mean, yeah, oh, we got Star, we got this guy. Look at all we got. But there were never characters. You never saw their life. You never saw their feelings. You never saw anything. And none you didn't even see them relate to each other hardly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the first ones. Scott Summers was tore up over Jean Grey dying. I'm like, dude, I couldn't even tell that y'all were together really, because same thing was Wolverine. Oh, I'm so tore about it. I'm like,
It just
y'all almost
understood.
didn't
Yeah.
have any scenes together. So
Yeah, you know
what?
what?
Yeah.
Even when Storm said like, "Why? Because you loved her." Like, see though, like they didn't have a lot of time spent together.
Yeah, and let's spend time together. All you have, the
That
most people,
element is taken from the comics.
yeah,
Like,
everything had a comic books. A lot of movie going audience just don't really read comic books.
yeah, so they didn't understand. Like, I don't understand why Wolverine loves Jean Grey.
This one I would understand because everybody had a relationship in this movie. You understood why so like this person is so this got this got along.
Yeah, even
And
in Emma,
of course,
things that yeah,
Even Beast earns respect in this movie.
yeah.
You know, because you like, especially Havoc didn't like him and all treated crap. And then all of a sudden, he's like, "Yeah, you're cool. You're still a
Even
bozo, but
Emma
you're cool."
seems like a side character. Even at the end when she's like, "Oh, it sounds
Because
fun." It's Eric, isn't it?
she was a side chick,
Yeah, she was a side chick. There you go. Thank you very much.
and she was okay with it.
Yes.
She's like, "Well, I don't really have to touch anybody,"
Yeah.
and she
That
does,
was
but
very good. You know,
except for when she has to go get ice out of the submarine.
I guess hmm, she can't break out of that prison. That prison that they put her in under the CIA basement or something.
Wherever they put her, yeah, we
Yeah.
don't even know where it's at.
It's in a
For all we
CIA
know, it's in the
basement.
air. For all we know, it's an aircraft carrier going around the oceans.
Oh, not in Alcatraz.
No, it happens because we don't know where Shield's at. But again, this isn't MCU, so there's no Shield, I guess.
You
Yeah.
know who funds the prison that houses Magneto? We never talked about that the first
Yeah,
time
well, we
around.
because they don't own the rights to Shield, so I guess it starts Shield.
Oh, that's right. They just put him in a glass case, and then there's like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
but it's not. What was the prison spin? The Vault.
Yeah.
The Vault, but that was for more like New York. I think that was all the villains in New York.
Oh, okay.
But there was supposed to be another prison because there's been several Marvel prisons.
Well, the prison that they house
The Vault is the only one I could think of right now.
well in the end of
But it seemed
Civil
like there was
War,
another one. Yeah.
in the end of Civil War, they have a ocean prison, right? It was in the ocean.
Yeah, oh, yeah. In the MCU so far, they've shown a lot of prisons. Prison that one that's under the ocean. There actually is one on an aircraft carrier.
Yeah, aircraft carrier. But they
And
house Loki.
yeah, they never showed. No, that's the helicarrier. No, there's one on the aircraft
Oh, and
carrier.
an aircraft
I think in
carrier.
Agents. I think it was on Agents of Shield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've had them on several different deals where they just move them around. But yeah, they had the little jail on the helicarrier.
And who's paying for this? Taxpayers?
Well, I mean, come on, the United States puts a lot of money. You don't know where it goes.
Yeah, that's true too.
I mean, and the United States does have lots of prisons. It's just you never know
We
about.
never know.
But like in
Wow.
this one, but I'm in the vault. They should show the vault. I don't know if they've ever showed the vault.
Did Yeah, I don't know. Did you like that Rebecca Romaine Stamos? I guess her lightniness was
Oh
in the
yeah,
film.
yeah. Her likeness pops up, which is interesting if you've seen the first.
I did
X-Men
also
movie.
like the when Hank explained like you're gonna look like even if you're 40 you're gonna look like a 20-year-old. It's because of like the way that her skin or her
Oh yeah.
powers are. I did like that explanation a lot.
No, it had to be because look how old she is too.
Yeah.
Because you got to think
Because
it shows Xavier in her in the 1940s.
yeah. But Xavier and her in the 1940s.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
because
yeah, the kids, yeah.
Because remember, it cuts away. Yeah,
You know what's
it had
really
to be
funny?
40s.
I don't know if Jennifer Lawrence was naked for the blue makeup or whatever suit, where Beckham and Raymond Steamer was, right? But the first time you saw that little girl, I'm thinking like they're not going to make a little girl naked and then put that makeup on her. She was wearing some kind of costume.
Yeah, she wore a costume. Well, the thing is that Jennifer Lawrence was almost for like the first parts. Eventually, they did make her a suit. They cut
Oh,
down her time. Yeah, which is probably better. And then they just had to make up her face, I think. But I think
yeah,
in this thing, she had to wear some like the strategic parts to cover up, or some bits. And
yeah.
then they painted her blue. But eventually, they got
There
her
they go.
time down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
which
easier
yeah.
now, I
Well, it
guess.
would be. They should have. Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, it's really uncomfortable. I mean, I could understand you don't want to spend that much time in makeup. I
Yeah,
mean, I never have, but
just
I mean, I think it would take a toll on the actor and
yeah.
them acting too, because you
And you
want
have to
them.
pay them for that. Yeah,
Yeah, well, you don't want them to be really uncomfortable because the character's not supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to be in their skin, and this is natural for them.
Yeah.
But if they're there and they're like thinking, "Oh, this is burning my skin," or "I'm itching," or "I'm cold," it's gonna be hard for them to deliver a good performance.
And you know what's really crazy? Like they don't only do it for the main actress, they gotta do it for the stunt double too.
Yeah, oh yeah. Anybody stunts and everything, you got to. I
You
was like,
gotta
well,
put the same thing on that
I
person.
sure hope this stuff don't rub off or fall
Yeah.
off.
Because we don't want to fix that in post.
So I mean, those people they really want that role.
So up to this point, this is the best X-Men movie of
Yes,
everything we've seen prior to this movie.
yes, it is better than the Wolverine.
Oh yeah, like this I
I
could
don't know
rewatch
though.
over and over.
I don't know. I actually like the Wolverine pretty much
I
too.
mean, it's not bad, but the X-Men movie wise, so we
Oh,
still
X-Men, just
consider.
X-Men. This is the best. Yeah.
I mean, we don't consider Captain America like an Avengers movie. It's like I won't count Wolverine and X-Men Origins
I don't. I
an X-Men
don't. Some
movie.
people. I think some people might, but no, I don't. I don't really consider those. I mean, it's just the parts you need to, because it's like a comic book. I go for the comic book. I'm either. I mean, you're not going to always read every comic book. I mean, you want probably pick up Avengers and then your favorite Avenger comic, but
Yeah.
you're not going to go, oh, I gotta get every
You
Avenger
already know who
comic
my
on this.
favorite Avengers is. It's Captain America.
Yeah, mine's Iron Man. So.
Oh, I know. Wow. Oh, I don't want to miss out. That's a lot of stuff we missed. It's a long movie. I like the whole set design because, like you said, it's easier to do
Yeah, well,
back
they kept it in the
then.
60s. It was a very well done movie. And like I said, what made it though was probably that we got to see all the characters actually be somebody,
Yep.
you know?
And
And they didn't
Charles in
really,
that big old
yeah,
house by himself, even though he was a little boy. But he
yeah,
probably lived there with a maid.
which is weird,
It is
which
very
is
weird.
weird, but it's always made sense because we really never see anything. I didn't bother me,
Yeah, because it's the
especially since he
MacGuffin.
goes,
Like it doesn't
my
matter.
mom don't ever come in here. My mom wouldn't come in here.
Ah. Well, that was the kitchen though, so that was really good. Uh, what? No, my favorite scene is probably the Magneto one. But you killed my mother. That moving the telescope scene is really good too.
Oh yeah, that
The
was awesome.
the Rage
Especially
and Serenity.
yeah, yeah, because that's the name of the song on it too.
Yeah, yeah, that was
That was
really
good because
good.
he's like I don't even remember that memory.
I did like the Banshee thing when Eric pushed him all like, "Wow, you were thinking it."
Yeah,
Just push the kid out to the
of course.
telescope.
I also like when
Tennis
he's on, when he's on that
on a
airplane.
submarine.
He goes,
Oh, on the
you
plane.
stay away from me. Yeah, you
You
stay
back
away
off.
from me. You back off.
That was so great. Like it's a pretty serious moment, but there's still like a comedy. That
Yeah,
was a super serious moment.
that was
That
pretty
was
good.
so great. And I did like they did Banshee. Yeah, when I first saw Banshee, like,
Well,
wow, this is gonna be kind of lame, right? But
yeah, I
no,
figured that. I kind of thought they were in
they
Havoc.
did it so
I do
great.
wish they would have gave Havoc just a little bit more, but
But yeah, I did too.
because Havoc eventually. The funny thing is, I think Havoc's supposed to be younger than Scott Summers.
Oh, that's what I thought too. Scott is the older
I
brother,
could be
right?
wrong, but the only reason I say that because I know I read X Factor, and Scott Summers was the head of X Factor, and then they rebooted. Well, they didn't reboot it, but the comic book event, all the X Men from X Factor came back. Jean Grey and all them, Iceman and Archangel, they all joined the X Men, and they were in the X Men. And then they made another X Factor. The
Hmm.
X Factor didn't stop the comic book; they just kind of went into another team. The new team, the head of it was Havoc.
Huh.
Yeah, it had Havoc, a Polaris, which is actually supposed to be a daughter of Magneto, and then it had Strong Guy, and it had Multiple Man. Remember, we saw him in the
Yeah.
third
In the third
X-Men.
one, I'm gonna put who's the older brother, Cyclops or
And there's three brothers.
Havoc. There is. I can't only
Yeah,
remember.
they have a third brother. I forgot what his name
Cyclops
is.
is older than
I think
Havoc.
his name is Vulcan. Yeah, Cyclops should have been the oldest brother, I thought.
Yeah. Let's see, X-Men, the Summers Brothers. Oh, that
Yeah,
sounds kind of cool.
there's supposed to be three of them.
Children of the Atom. Gabriel Summers.
Okay.
After. Oh, he's a super villain.
No, that makes sense. Because his dad, oh yeah, his dad's part of the Space Jammers.
Yeah. Well, look at you. Remember all these
So
stuff.
the Summers brothers, their dad flies around space. He's kind of like Star Lord.
That sounds very
Well,
cool.
yeah, because he's kind of like a pirate, space pirate.
Falcon.
Yeah. So see, you can see why they're all crazy because their dad's like, "Hey, I'm hanging out in space."
So the whole family is mutants.
I
Summers.
guess we never seen them. I don't know anything about the mother. I just remember the father because I mean, he's in a couple comic books, and of course, you know, what is his Professor X-Haver leaves Earth and he flies around in space with the space jammers or something. And then he meets some woman and falls in love with her, and she gives him his legs back. There's a whole space deal. The X-Men went to space for a long time, and then of course there was a witch spell put on the X-Men where cameras can't even see them.
Yeah. Huh.
They got a lot to think on. I
They
like the
never
X-Men.
have a name for Oliver Platt's character. You just put men in black suit.
Yeah, so he's the Man in Black. I think I think people that read the comic book gave him a name. There was
Oh,
an FBI agent in the comic books that gave him a name in the
that's
60s or
interesting. In
something.
he was interested in mutants. That's
Yeah,
a
he
good
was
scene
studying
too
that.
when they first met Hank, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I see why you like mutants so much." He said, "You have one here," and he's like,
Yeah,
"What?"
because oh, I'm
He
sorry.
was like, "Oh, because you didn't know. I'm so sorry." And it was like, "What, Hank? I've been working on mutant the whole time." Oh, this is one of those things
Yeah,
that sucks, right? Like you have to hide the fact that you're a mutant. I
yeah.
I really love this movie, Shane. I don't know how much I can say it.
Okay, you just shout
And
it.
that's why
And
I say
don't
I
wake up
can't
anybody in
wait
your
until
house.
MCU does it. Let's see, what time is it? Not everybody's asleep yet. Only the youngest one and probably my mother. The twins and my mother's probably asleep. But yeah, like I can't wait till Disney brings the X-Men.
Well, I can't either.
Uh,
Just think about
Because the
how
bar is
amazing it could
pretty
be.
high, but then
The
every time
ball
I
is pretty
set my
high,
bar high, like
but
Infinity
here's
War,
the.
my
But
bar
let's
was
put it this way:
super
the ball
high.
is not that high though, because I mean,
Ah,
as we get
depends.
further in this X Men, because we get to see the future, because we've already seen all the X Men. Anybody else watching the show seen the other X Men movies? You already know the bar goes all the way back down into the mud.
Oh yeah, eventually, yeah. It goes.
I didn't even get to see the last X Men movie. I didn't even see Phoenix.
Is it the Dark Phoenix? Dark
Yeah,
Phoenix is the last one,
that
right?
was when they stopped, and that's when Fox is like, okay,
Well, I
we're
guess the New
bankrupt.
Mutants would be the new X Men. Well, it's mutants, not X
The
Men, but
mutants, it's just his students.
yeah,
The New Mutants, yeah, the comic book New Mutants, and I guess the show, in which we're gonna do. So
yeah. We're gonna finish with the New Mutants.
we're gonna do all of this X.
We're gonna do the X.
Yeah,
Hold
man,
on,
we're gonna
here we go.
do the X. Yeah, we're gonna watch all the
The
X
X.
related stuff.
Yeah, we have to.
We have
Otherwise,
to now. We've already started this journey. Hey, would you like to take a journey with me, Lam?
I would love to. Are we going to do the X Men? And not a
Yeah.
sex thing, by the way.
Well, I hope not. I hope not. Don't even know where we went there, but
Do the
okay.
X Men.
Yep, well, we went
We're gonna
there.
watch the X Men movies and review them because the word "do" is so general and broad. We can't just say "do." Okay. All right, we're way out of time, but I love doing this one. I think out of my, like I said before, of all the X Men we've done so far, this is the best one. Even like on this show that we did.
Yeah, I mean, we may like the next one. I don't know, but
Oh,
because the next one I already know is good. I just can't remember it if it was better than this.
I guess yeah, I have to rewatch it. I haven't watched it recently.
Because I know we didn't see the next one at the theaters,
No, we didn't. I don't know why.
and it took us a long time to see it. But
Yeah,
eventually,
it
I
does
know
took a
I
long
saw it,
time
and
to
I
see
told
it.
you got to see this, dude. It was good.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah,
like
I
it's so
remember.
funny because you and I both love time travel, and then we didn't
Yeah.
see this in the theater.
Well, we didn't even know it was time travel. I don't think because I didn't know what to expect.
You
Because I
know,
remember when I first saw it. Yeah,
with
I
a
don't
name
remember
like
getting it.
Days of the Future Past, you would
We
think
should have
there's
known.
something
We
to do
should
with
have
time travel.
known.
We should have known
We should have known.
because like we seen trailers for it, like oh, what is
Yeah, it
Wolverine
must
doing
have
with
been. We must have been busy doing
James
something else.
McAvoy?
We were probably too busy watching their MCU.
Yeah, it depends on when it came out.
Plus, you gotta think. Remember, at that time though, there was a lot of movies coming because you had MCU movies. Me and you had to go watch at the theater. Then we had the Batman movies. We had to go
Oh,
watch at the theater.
yep. One more thing we have to point out: they make this movie to tie in Days of the Future Past from the previous X Men.
Okay.
This we never talked about that. X Men First Class. They make this to tie Days of the Future Past with the previous X Men and not X Men Wolverine Origins. That's totally
Did
separate.
they,
The
or do you
Wolverine.
think it just was happened? A good coincidence.
No, no, I don't. It's not coincidence. I'm thinking like I mean, I don't have any solid proof. I probably have to research
Yeah,
that.
because I've never read.
Because the
Yeah,
end
because
of
I
the
haven't read
Wolverine,
anything.
they talk about
Yeah, they
past.
did that.
Yep.
But that's the problem. Is a lot of movies go, "Hey, let's do this," and then they go, "Oh, we're gonna go another direction."
Yeah, I don't know. I think Bryan Singer was probably have to. It's kind of like what Justin
I
Lin
mean,
did with Fast and Furious 3.
yeah, I don't think Bryan Singer was a part of that idea,
Bryan
though.
Singer wrote this movie.
Well, yeah, he was a producer on this movie, and they asked
No,
him to
he
direct
wrote
it.
this movie.
He wrote this movie.
The story, not the screenplay. So, but sometimes you wrote the story and someone wrote
He
the
may
screenplay.
just got credit for it.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's
Yeah, well, I know, but a lot of times people just get credit for stuff they didn't really took part in. I mean, there's tons of producers that never even showed up. They're like,
As long as
"Oh,
the money shows up, okay.
I'm sure there's,
That's
I'm sure
all
there's a
you
lot of
need.
producers. There's probably a lot of producers goes, "Oh, I was a producer on that movie. Oh, okay, yeah, I was. Oh, yes, I did."
Oh, what's really funny because the first few X-Men has Kevin Feige as a producer also, but then he was
Yeah.
really working on this. One of the best X-Men movie is not Kevin Feige produced yet.
Yeah.
Is this
Yeah.
one?
Well, that's probably because they thought. Well, he went on and they go, "We got to do something now."
Yeah.
Because he's the guy that's over there making the better moves.
Yeah. Because you can only do so much at one time, okay?
Yep.
You can only multitask so much.
Well, you can only put up with so much too, because I'm sure he finally reached the end of it. And go, "Yeah, I'm done with X. I'm done with Fox."
Done. Everybody's done with Fox, just like Deadpool
Yeah,
said in Wolverine.
Yeah.
I'm going to Disneyland and we're out. Thank you for tuning in for this episode of Tensai Reviews. If you like what you heard, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you on the next one.